But like even with the album release and everything, I still have that paranoia. But I think that's something I should probably talk to my therapist about.
The production, especially at the end of that, is insane.
I was actually gonna take that song off the album. Without Sincerely, this album would be like, why?
It
This
makes no
album would,
sense.
yeah, like it makes no sense. It would be kind of a mess.
I feel like a lot of movies, everything's going wrong, everything's awful, and then the last scene or the last shot is just a spark of hope, and then the movie is over. Is there any song that gives a sense of hope towards the end?
I don't think so.
Welcome back to another episode of Hero's Journey. Thank you so much for listening. And today I'm here with Exez. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing really well, actually. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing
Awesome,
pretty good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just chatting for like 10 minutes off camera, and then I was like, we should just get into this, just start recording. So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah. So I mentioned this to you also, but the first question I've been asking people recently is just like, how would you describe your music? How do you describe what you do in music? Anything like that?
Oh my God.
Producer, mostly.
Producer. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mainly produce. I don't think I have a specific sound. I think I'm just trying to figure it out. A lot of people say that I'm really good at making like Spanish songs, like Latin or reggaeton. And I think that's fine. I think I do tend to make songs like that because I have a lot of friends who are like into those songs. Um, but I do try to make like indie pop songs. I do try to mess with like orchestral stuff as well.
Hmm.
I'm just a producer, a
Yeah.
day and
Making
age
whatever's
producer.
interesting. So
Exactly. Just a
I'm the same way, and yeah. I mean, I want to have you on to deep dive this latest album of yours, Sincerely, which is, as I think, basically that. Like, it's a lot of reggaeton and then a couple other things like spliced in here and there.
yeah. There's a
Um,
gospel song in there too.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just
or
random.
random
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
really cool. And like the intro and outro song, like that was so cool to me. How it's very, I don't know. I think I like when artists or bands do something special with like album intros and outros, and you definitely did that. For it's like a little bit cinematic, dramatic versus like just
Like hopping
typical
straight
form
into
like
it.
songs for the rest of it. So
Exactly.
so where did the idea for not only that, or I guess those songs come by, but like splitting it in two and doing one at each end of the album?
So I got a lot of inspiration from like other artists. I wanted to kind of make an album that was like telling a story almost. And my favorite artist that I got inspiration from was like Mac Miller, and like I think his album Balloonerism really pushed me to kind of make a story where like I make like an intro and an outro at the same time. Because in Balloonerism, like the first track for that album is just like a bunch of not cymbals, but like what's that instrument called again? Where it's just like
Um, I don't know.
I don't know. He was hitting something.
I'm
It
at a
was like
loss for tambourine.
yeah, tambourine. Yeah, it was a tambourine.
Okay.
Yeah. But he had like an intro where there was just like a tambourine, and there was nothing else to it. But it was supposed to get you into like to kind of like what the album would feel like, almost.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to do something with that. But I wanted it to be about like uh what I was experiencing when I was making the album. So like the famous catchphrase that I have going on right now is like why does it matter at all,
Yeah.
and that was kind of like a few years ago. That was kind of like what I was asking myself during my time in California. So I wanted the album to just kind of reflect that a little bit. And I feel like most of the lyrics and the stories in the songs really do show or really do ask that question, and they dive deeper into like the feelings and emotions that come with it. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I want to get more into the album, just like hear more about it. But you mentioned like some kind of story there. What would you say the story of Sincerely is? Is it just the process of making it, or is there some
Uh,
bigger overarching story?
I tried to go for like a bigger story. I don't know if like people got it or not, but uh, I tried to like induce like this fear of like going in circles, kind of like repeating the same bad habits that like a person with bad habits would repeat, you know?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
as
so
someone
like
with bad habits, I get it.
yeah, exactly. Where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna like try and do this to make myself break away from like these old habits of mine, you know, like being messy or whatever. For me, it was it was kind of like going through the same existential crisis over and over again, you know, among like other things, like smoking and like doing like a bunch of other stuff that people shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, okay, these are like habits that I really do want to try and break, but I always find myself kind of like resorting back to it for like stressful times or whatever. Um, you know, and I felt like I was moving in circles. I felt like I was like having history repeat itself, and I wasn't like going anywhere like in my life. I did like improve from like you know I'm not the same person I was like 3 4 years ago. Um, but like each time I found myself in a different place, I still felt like I wasn't like progressing, like I wasn't like doing anything like memorable, if that makes sense. You know, like I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I achieved anything. So those were like the emotions I was really trying to get through, you know. I felt like I was going in circles, and I felt like I wasn't like doing enough, if that makes sense. I felt like no matter like how hard I worked, I wasn't like being the person I wanted to be. So that's kind of like what the album was about. And I think the person I got a lot of inspiration from was Mac Miller because he does have an album called Circles. And he does have an album called Swimming as well. So he does talk about that. And, you know, I heavily related to it. And I was just like, this is like something that I do want to like reflect on and tell my story kind of like in a similar sense, you know? So that's like how the album came to be. And that's practically what it's about too. It's me being afraid of like moving in circles. It's me being afraid of like swimming. And swimming is like an action of like me trying not to drown myself. Like I
Mhm.
always like try to like find solutions to my bad habits, find solutions to the problems that I have, you know? And in the moment they make me feel good about myself, you know, like I'll go on a run, I'll start chewing gum instead of smoking, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I always think like in the moment these things are like good for me and I feel good about myself. But like after like time moves on, then I'm just like, oh, like I could go for a cigarette, you know, or like maybe
Yeah.
like I'll relax like for the weekend or drink like some beer or something. Or like have a drink out with friends. Which that isn't bad, but it's just like I'll let myself loose and then I'll find myself like in a deeper like and darker hole, if that
Yeah.
makes
You
sense.
just end up like back where you were trying to implement the changes. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. Very direct connection. Is that just what Afraid to Drown is about in the
Pretty
song? Or
much. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Where it's just like that's kind of like one of my biggest fears. It's just like not progressing at all and just finding myself in the same place I was trying to get out of, you know?
Yeah.
So this album was just like me tackling like what I really was afraid of, you know? Being afraid to drown, you know, like if I stop swimming, I'm gonna drown, of course, right? And like being afraid of time as well. It's like
Hmm.
you know, like if I'm repeating the same things over and over
That's a big one
again.
for me too.
Yeah,
What is your
exactly.
time? It's like the past couple years as I've gotten older, just I finally get when everyone's like when everyone older than me says that time's been going by so fast or like the years go by so fast. I like just in the past 2 years ish started feeling that and I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like this is going really fast.
Exactly. And I was just like, damn. Like I really do feel like I'm running out of time a little bit. But I have to remember to be kind to myself, you know. There's a lot
Yeah.
of like not mental positivity, but just like a lot of like I've just been trying to work on my mental health a lot, you know, and I feel like
Yeah.
the album really does reflect that. Or at least it tries to, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of feeling the running out of time thing with I still have some time, but like nearing the end of college, is that kind of like around the same time that you were feeling it and like this crunch to get everything done or rush or like have some big thing accomplished?
Exactly, yeah. It's like a huge weight on your shoulders, really.
Hmm.
But you know, like even with the album release and everything, I still have that like paranoia, you know. But
Yeah.
I think that's something I should probably talk to my therapist about. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
maybe there's a deeper problem that lies in there. But you know, it is something that I'm trying to work on. I do try to, I do want to talk about like mental health. I do want to talk about maybe not solutions to it, but maybe it's just like the journey that it takes to like get to like a normal headspace, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think is so important. I mean, some of my favorite artists are or became my favorite because I got into their music around mental health. So that's, I mean, literally my favorite artist 21 Pilots does that a lot, but then another like ones that are up there for me, NF, a little bit of like HAR, like very they they were some of the first people I listened to, or Logic also, like listening to people who were the first or some of the first people I had actually heard like bring those things up in music or like talk about them. And I think that's huge. Like there's the whole what am I thinking of? NF, for example, has his song When I Grow Up. That's like it's all about, or I guess from the perspective of like a young, like starving artist being like, when I grow up, I want to rap. And is
Yeah.
in the early stages of a career, everyone's like, that's ridiculous. You're not good at rapping. You're not big yet. You're like, it's not gonna happen, um, and things like that. But yeah, it's important to. So I think it's something special to connect with listeners over that through music, or like if you're having these doubts, again, just to throw out a name, Billie Eilish, because that's a huge one that I somehow forgot.
No, that's
um,
okay.
but yeah, it's essentially you're making these songs about these things, and I think people can definitely relate to them. Just like I've brought up, like the whole "Afraid of Time" thing that we we were relating over
Yeah.
in this conversation.
No, that's
Um,
true. I also really like NF's music video too, because it shows him like working like a 9 to 5, you know, as
yeah,
like a what was it, like a dumpster garbage man?
yeah, just like Dumpster Garbage Man. There's maybe it was just a scene, but I think there's, or even a line, but there's a moment of him just like walking through like the kitchen of a fast food restaurant
Oh
and
yeah, that
things, and
too. That
like
that
he
was
like
relatable. I was like,
all the
ah.
like typical 9 to 5 jobs, and I was like, that's basically me living a normal life but being like, I want to do music.
Exactly. I wanna be something of myself, you know. But it's hard. It really is
Yeah,
hard.
and then now he just like that's like talking about something I relate to, but also slightly lighter. And then his latest project just wrecked me because it's all like very deep
Oh
emotional
my
songs
God,
and about
yeah.
like fear and loss. And I was like, wow, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm now. I mean, you know me. I'm now crying in the dining hall of my college because I was like, oh, NF dropped new music, and then I watched the music video and actually like I had to stop myself
Oh
from
my,
crying in the
yeah.
dining hall.
No, that music video was heavy. It was really good though.
Yeah,
Home is my favorite song from that album for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Because it
it's a
does
good
talk about
one.
his grandma, and I was just like, oh, brother, like, oh my God. It
Yeah,
made me cry a little bit, low key.
yeah, exactly.
But he does
It's
make some great songs. He does.
yeah. So, but yeah, even well, honestly, I want to get into, did NF at all like inspire or influence this album? Because even the cover art is kind of like mansion like by
Yeah,
NF. So
yeah.
was that at all a thought for the cover art, or more just maybe like subconscious
It, it
inspiration?
it was more like subconscious. I actually had a very different idea for the album cover.
Hmm.
I bought like a really large painting, like a painting frame, right? And I
Hmm.
wanted to do something where it was like me behind this painting frame, and then people were just like looking inside of it. And there's some pictures that I took with the photographer I had. Shout out to Rayanne, you know. But we did take a lot. We did take some pictures with that, but I couldn't figure out how to make the painting, the painting frame, stand up straight. I figured it out afterwards, after the photo shoot that we had. But I was thinking that that's probably better for like a future album that I do that that album cover. But I did take a picture with Rayanne near like the library at Oxy, and those are the doors that like those doors are like an entrance to the library. And we were just like, Rayanne also listens to my album, and I was asking her about it, like, of like, how does this album like feel in general? And she was like, oh, it's like dark and like anguish is basically what she told me.
Yeah.
She was like it felt like emotionally like not emotionally draining, but like it just felt emotional a little bit, you know.
Yeah. A little
Um
heavy.
a little heavy, yeah. So she was just like we should probably do something that resonates with that. So she came up with the idea of like having me like sit down on those stairs and just like putting like my beanie over me and stuff, you know. It's like mental
So the
anguish.
library doors is the current cover art, or
Pretty much, yeah.
okay, yeah.
And then she edited it. She edited it. You know, and we had like a bunch of pictures just like laid out. You know, that were like completely different. Some of them were like a bit lighter. Some of them were a bit like different, I guess. But my manager, Zania, she was the one who chose that picture because she was like, I think this one like really speaks to the
Fits
album.
it the best. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Um, you know, because I'm in front of like these like dark doors, you know, and like these dark doors, they're like it's almost like an abyss is behind them, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm in front of like this door that like holds back like all these dark thoughts that I'm having almost. So
Yeah.
that's what she really liked about it, and you know that's what I went with. So
Yeah. How intentional was it? Because I know NF does it too, to have like very like white or light clothing in front of that dark background.
yeah, I guess that's where NF inspired me a little bit.
Yeah.
There's no rap songs in the album besides like what was it? Dead? Hold on. Let me pull
Yeah.
up my album. Yeah, no,
I,
it was
I,
Dead.
I told you like after I listened to it, I was like, Death gives kind of NF vibes,
Oh yeah,
and
Death. Yeah.
the like production, especially at the end of that, is insane.
No, exactly. I was actually gonna take that song off the album.
What? Really?
Yeah, I was gonna take that song off because it felt okay. So one thing I was really struggling with was trying to make all the tracks like sound good together because
Hmm.
most of them are like really different, you know. And so I planned to have I'm Afraid of Time to play after Matters, you know, and then I had like the transition set up and everything. And you can probably hear the transition going from that song to the next one. But then I had the album party, and then uh, it was more of that album party was more for me to just get an idea of how the people react to the songs. Because if it's like something that they don't like, then I wouldn't put it in the final like album, you know, when I release it.
Hmm.
But I played that song at the party, and people like at least like four different people went up to me, and they were just like, "That's my favorite song." Like off the album, like it's that one, you know. And I had like a little pamphlet showing like all the songs and all the lyrics for it, and they were like, "I want that one to be in the album." And I'm just like, "Oh, that's so funny," because I didn't have it planned to
Yeah.
be in the album. You know, that song was gonna be scrapped, and it was gonna be like on my computer, like
That's
for the rest of
crazy.
its life. Yeah, so it's like, you know, I didn't really expect people to like it, especially
No,
with like
that's
the vocals, like the Fry voice, you
yeah.
know.
But I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I was telling you, it's like remind me of the vocals or like the flow of NF or Imagine Dragons kind of songs, like very very raw and just like honest, kind of speaking more than like lyrics or poems or anything like
Exactly.
that. Yeah, it's crazy to me making tracklist decisions. I know I went to the listening party for 21 Pilots latest album Breach, and the singer had a recording play of I forget exactly which song it was, but he was like yeah, like I didn't want this song on the album, and then the drummer was like, no, you should like put it in because it fits. And it's such a good song and everything. Or even they did something funny where two of the songs have kind of a vibe switch. Um, and another thing I love with music is transitions between songs. So like when you were bringing up having one song like flow into another, I think it's for the 21 Pilots album, I think it's One Way into Days Lie Dormant, where it's a bit of a vibe switch and One Way kind of ends, and then it's a voicemail of the drummer being like, hey, I really like the album, but these songs are like kind of different and it feels like a vibe switch. I'm fine with it, but like let me know. And then they like hold the and like do a beat drop into the next song.
Oh, that's sick, actually. I might
Yes.
steal that idea, Loki. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
No, I'll
Yeah.
send them to you. It's so funny, and it's like it's something where, especially at the listening party, because they were playing these recordings of the band spliced between songs. Everyone kind of stopped for a minute and was like, "Wait, was that the song, or was that one of the recordings playing?" Like it was like a moment of confusion, but then it's like in the actual like Spotify versions and everything, and it's so funny every time I hear it.
No, I maybe should. I should. I think I should have tried to be more creative with like the transitions for the songs. But
That's all
at that,
right though.
yeah, no, it's
Well,
fine.
so are you a music artist looking to get your songs on Spotify, Apple Music, and basically every other streaming platform? Then you should check out DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution service. It's what I use to get all my music out across platforms, and I find it really helpful. You can manage your songs, lyrics, credits, and even manage releases across artists under one account. I don't think I would have gotten started as early as I did with music if it weren't for DistroKid. So if you want to get started, I'll put their pricing on the screen here. And yes, that does say the cheapest plan is at $2 a month. I know some of you spend more than that every day on your coffees. Like this is to get your music heard by the world. When we're getting off track, DistroKid has so many additional features like pre-save pages, getting your music onto platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where people can put your music on their posts. If you use my link in the description, you will get 7% off any of these plans, making it even cheaper to get your career started, and so much more. So again, check out my link in the description for 7% off any plan. And now let's get back to the episode. Something I wanted to ask you was I like a lot of the reggaeton vibes in the album, but it's like kind of back and forth between that and other styles. Was that intentional to have it like spaced out throughout the album versus like here are all the reggaeton songs, here's like the softer songs, things like that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was intentional to just have them like spread out a little bit. Because I did want like the audience or like the listeners to kind of have like an emotional roller coaster almost a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. But it was really hard. It was really hard to kind of like figure out how well these songs like mix together. Because like I said, with the album, I was trying to tell a story almost, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that story really like got said if people like listen to when people listen to it. Um, I so it goes. Hold on, let me bring the track list out because low
Yeah.
key, there's a lot of songs. There's like 15 songs in this album. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. No, you made a real album. It's a full official album.
Exactly, yeah. So like going on with like the like existential crisis and like or just like okay, hold on, let me start that over. Going with like the idea of experiencing like a loop, right? Because that's kind of
Mhm.
like the story that I wanted to like convey. I wanted the listener to kind of feel like they were like stuck in a loop almost. So it starts off with why does it matter at all? then it goes to No Second Soy, like if I don't know who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sincerely was the song that kind of showed, or that kind of like tried to say that this album was something that I am like reflecting on in my past. Like this album doesn't reflect who I am now, but it reflected like a version of me that was really going through something, you know?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think the
Made it
end
cool
for
enough to be
me,
the title track for the album.
exactly, yeah, exactly. Because I felt like without Sincerely, this album would be like, why
It
this
makes no
album would,
sense.
yeah, like it makes no sense. It would be kind of a mess a little bit. But the end for me is kind of like where the story starts, where it's just like, like I'm like this person who like doesn't give a fuck, right? There's this girl who likes me, and I know she likes me, but I'm not really trying that hard, right?
Yeah.
And then antes que se tarde is where like I do like interact with that person, and then there's supposed to be in my head I'm kind of like seeing this as like a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like with I Still Think of You, there's like a transition between like me missing her, right?
Yeah.
And then Matters is like, oh my God. Matters was I think that's like probably the best song of the album. Not my favorite, but a lot of my friends' favorite. Uh, Matters is probably like, okay, let me start over. Matters is a song about like my best friend getting into a car crash. I'm
Okay.
not gonna name drop him,
Yeah. No
but
need. No need. I'm
no
not gonna
need.
push you to.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that song was about him getting into a car crash in Chicago, and like I was in LA, and so I have like an app called Life 360,
Yeah.
and it has like all my like best friends on it, right? And so I was actually getting ready to take a test, a final for music theory. I think it was music theory 2. And I was getting ready to do the final, and I was like on my way to my class, and I get a notification on my phone saying that he got into a car crash, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, it showed me like his speed. It was like over 120, right? And it was
Jeez.
like it was telling me to like that like paramedics were on the way or whatever, right? And I didn't believe it at all, you know. And like I was just like, it's just like he's just probably doing like something stupid or whatever, right?
It's just a glitch. It's like he
Yeah.
just like lost location services, and it was like, oh, he stopped moving.
Exactly. It's just like, he's probably that it probably was like a treadmill or something, you know. But I was literally about to like walk into my class, and then I was like, you know what, let me call him and like see if he's okay, you know. And then he ends up calling me, and then I answer the phone, and then he's like, yo, and like I hear him like on the phone, like it sounded like he was dying almost, you
Oh
know.
wow. Yeah.
And then I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And then he's not talking to me anymore, right? And then I hear sirens in the background, like of his phone, and then I'm just like, oh fuck, he actually got into a car crash, you know. I was like, no
Yeah.
way. And then he tells me, he's like, I think I just crashed. And then I'm like, oh fuck, right? And my final is right there. My peers are like walking into the classroom, and I'm over here struggling like mentally because I'm like, I want to go take
No.
this final, but then he's my fucking best friend.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do, you know? And
That's
like,
literally like the mental toughness of like really just like an oh my god moment, or why does it matter at all? You're like, oh, school, I got to do this final, and then something like that happens to someone you care about, and you're like, oh, there's like a whole nother level of what actually matters in this life.
exactly. And like, I was like just like stuck a little bit, and I was like, fuck, like I didn't know what to think of it. And then he like sets down the phone. And then I call my other best friend, and then I'm just like what the fuck am I gonna do, right? And then he's all the way in Boston, and then he's like, I don't know what to do either. Like we're both shocked. And then I'm telling him like, oh, I have a final right now. I don't know, like would it be selfish of me to go take it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I try calling. and he just doesn't pick up, which is fine, right? So I was just like, I feel really bad, but I went to go take my final, right? And I was like, I wasn't one of the first people done, but I felt like super like conflicted the entire time I was doing it. And I was just I was literally just thinking about like buying a plane ticket, to go see
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Like, let me just get this done, get it out of the way, and then I'm
Exactly.
going.
But like I was so broke during that time, bro. Like I was thinking like, what do I gotta do? Maybe I gotta go ask people for money or some shit, right? Or like maybe I'll go call my
Start a GoFundMe.
sister. Yeah, start a GoFundMe. Exactly. Like I wasn't even thinking about the fucking final. But it was like part of my grade, so I was thinking like how to solve like the questions and shit.
Yeah.
And like my mind was racing and everything. And so after the final, I just like go to my dorm and I'm like questioning whether I should like call him again or like call to see like what we can do or like like just like I was trying to like figure out like what to do. So I end up calling him again, and then he's at the hospital, and then he tells me that like his like people are there to see him and that he's like fine for now. And do you want me to go see you? And then he's like, no, don't worry about it, right? Um, and I'm super pissed at the same time because this motherfucker is so ignorant. And it's just like, I started like putting all my anger towards him. Like I didn't like shout at him that day, but a couple of days later, like I cussed him out. I'm like, you're a stupid motherfucker, right? Um,
Yeah.
you know, um, but that was just like, I don't know, it was an emotional roller coaster. Um, you
Well, was
know,
was he like downplaying it at all? Because I know people who like something big will happen and they're like, oh yeah, this happened. So
yeah,
like, where do you want to go for dinner? And I was like, no, 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 that is
no,
like
that
huge. We need to like, you can't just blow right past that. Like, do not
exactly,
comprehend what just happened.
exactly, and like he did downplay it a bit.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until like afterwards that he went to go see his car, you know. Because okay,
Hmm.
the other thing about it is that that was his dream car. Like that was like he bought
Oh,
that car, like he saved up a bunch of money for it.
yeah.
Like when he got his dream car, like I rode in it. Like when I went to go visit him, like he showed up with that car, and I'm like, no fucking way, you got your dream car. And then only for him to wreck it. That like I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But he
Hmm.
went to go see his car after like the crash, and that's when he realized that he practically died and came back to life and shit. And it
Hmm.
was just like he was like, oh, I really could have I really could have died. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's when he realized that that shit was serious. You know, and it did play on him. Like it did take a toll on him mentally as well. You know, and it was just like it was a huge thing in our lives. And I think it'll continue to be a huge thing in our lives. But it was just like it was crazy. And I wanted to tell him how I felt, and I did. I did tell him how I felt, but I didn't want it to be like a reoccurring thing for us, because at the end of the day, he wanted to move on from it.
Yeah.
Because
Very fair.
yeah, he wanted to move on from it. Like he's married now. He wants to focus like on his wife and shit. And like I respect that. Like I can only imagine what he was going through. He was like, "Damn,
Hmm.
like I really fucked up my dream car. Like I almost died. So I was giving him that space, but I really wanted to like kind of like reflect like how I was kind of tell him like how I was feeling in like a different way. And I think that's how Matters became a song, or that's how it came to fruition. Um, so I guess
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
probably why it
Wow.
sounds so good. Because
No, I mean, like,
based on trauma.
what's the quote? I think there's some quote that's like the best art like comes from pain or something like that, or like pain leads
Exactly.
to great art, something which is like, I mean, what an example of that. That's an insane story.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry that you went through that and he went through that, but hopefully he like takes it as a reflection moment and like, okay, let me be smart about things. Let me get my life in order and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's insane. That's like let me get the name of the song. I know I'm a bit late to it, but over like my Christmas and holiday travels, I listened to Ian Dior's latest album Cycles, and there was already a whole thing going through it of like it came out with some songs, but then a bunch of songs were removed, but then they were like put back on and things. But I listened through like the whole thing over this break, and there's a song on it that like the even just the title of the song is "Thank You Milani," and I was like, who is Milani? And like wanted to get into the story of it and listen to the song, and it's like a very vulnerable song of his, or like one of the more vulnerable ones I've heard of him, where it was about a time that he like nearly OD'd on drugs and everything, and then saw his like really young niece and named Milani, and was just like I don't want her growing up like the stories of like, oh, your uncle Ian who like was doing music and then had problems and like passed away because of that. So he's like working on getting better and getting clean from. I don't know if he's going for like 100% sobriety or just like bettering himself at all, but or like to what degree. But I that was like another like like big moment for him of like I need to just like know what I'm doing with my life and not like mess this up. Um,
That's true. That sounds like a very powerful song, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Um, he has a bunch of, I was gonna say cool songs, which they are cool, but that's not like the word to describe it here. He
That is
has
fair.
he has all kinds of songs, but he's good at balancing like the hype feel good songs and meaningful songs. Whereas I feel like some artists are just the hype stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Yeah, no, I really do gotta figure out how to balance like hype songs and meaningful songs, really. I think Matters like really was a good like middle point for my album though. Because I think from the first song to like probably Matters were like really good mixes. And then after Matters, Death came on, and then it was just like a whole different vibe, you know? Um,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, and then Death, like I guess after that incident was when I really started like kind of like spiraling, you know,
hmm
like in my mental health, you know, because like all these like all the songs in like the first half of the album were really just like filler episodes of my life, right? And then after Matters, like that's when like I started questioning more about like my existence, my mental health, and I started questioning like my ethics and like you know, my bad habits, you know. And
yeah,
you know, that's when like Death came on. I felt suicidal at one point, you know, where it's just like I
mm,
know this is like not a good direction for my mental health to go towards, but it's like I can't stop thinking about it either, you know.
yeah,
And then that's yeah, I think Matters is like the pivot point of like where my mental health started like really declining, you know.
hmm
Um, and I kind of wish there was like a happy note towards the end of the album.
That's what I was about to say of like is
Yeah.
there any like you were saying for like movies or as a visual metaphor, like I feel like a lot of movies it's like this crazy thing, everything is going wrong, everything is awful, and then like the last scene or the last shot is just like a spark of hope, and then the movie is over and you have to go home with that. So is there any song that kind of picks up or gives a sense of hope towards the end?
Um, I don't think so. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
that's fine.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
good.
I don't yeah, 'cause like after Matters, Death comes on, I'm Afraid of Time, and then Breathe comes on, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then I wanted Afraid to Drown to kind of be like this point where I'm like getting like a breath of fresh air, you know?
yeah.
Or like I'm starting to like breathe again,
That
basically, right?
like genuinely just from listening through the album, I felt that. And I think I literally, because I listened through it and I was like writing down all my thoughts to send you. And for that one, it really was a relief song. I was like, okay, here we're back to Latin vibes. This is feel good. This is cool. Like, let's get back into this
Yeah.
after the heavy stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what the plan was for
Hmm.
me to kind of just like have Afraid to Drown to be like a song where like I like really start getting back on my feet, you know?
Yeah.
But then when I was writing like the next four songs, it was like I didn't really feel like I was back on my feet really. I felt like I was kind of going through like the same things. It was just like a different sound. Like same story, different place, right?
Yeah.
No Me Importa is a song about like me spending money on dates that don't like make me feel
Are not
like
important to you.
fulfilled. They're not. No.
Yeah.
No Me Importa means I don't mind, right? So the
Yeah.
song is basically me saying I don't mind that I spend money on you. Like I don't really care. I'm just trying to like figure out how to like fill up my time so it doesn't feel meaningless, but at the end of the day it still does.
Hmm. Hmm.
And no voy al cielo means like I can't go to heaven, right? It's just like these are all the bad habits that I like doing, and if these are all like the devil, then I don't care. Like I'll dance with the devil almost.
Yeah.
But that song was almost like a kind of like a hype song, I guess. That song was more fun to record than like the story we're trying to convey. But it did fit.
Yeah. And it has a sick intro also.
Yeah.
But like,
Hey heroes, sorry to interrupt that podcast episode, which I hope you are enjoying, but I wanted to tell you about my clothing line, Quest Clothing. Ever since I started really pursuing YouTube and music and all these creative things that I do, I've dreamed about starting this clothing line specifically. I had the name, I had the idea like for years before I started it, and now it's finally here. You can wear clothes like this. I have sweatshirts available, t-shirts, even clothing for like my music with cover arts and lyrics and things like that. It's all super, super cool. And right now is the best way for you guys to support me across everything I do. So be sure to check out the Quest Clothing web store with the link in the description and follow at Shop Quest Clothing on Instagram for updates about collections, discounts, things like that. Anyways, I don't want this self-sponsorship to take too long, so let's get back to the episode.
I want to get into like for all the songs and the different like vocalists and artists you bring in to help collaborate on this. If it's, I mean, not if, but especially when it's such a heavy album or like dealing with heavy topics like this, how do you bring someone else in and trust them with that of like, hey, this is about like an existential mental breakdown I had. Can you sing this?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
how do you like deal with not putting that on someone else, but finding someone who will help you bring that to life?
I choose like my singers very carefully, I would say. I did want more singers to be in this album, but it became more of like a close circle, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
with like the reggaeton songs, it wasn't really hard to like convey like what I was trying to like feel with the song. And with like the early versions of like the reggaeton songs, they sounded way different than the way they do now. So I had to work with the artist to like really like try and like figure out how I'm feeling, but also capture it. So I had to do like a lot of compromise with the artists that I was working with. But the songs that I did have to like pour my heart out or like really like say like all the trauma dump, all the trauma that I was going through were like the really sad ones. Breathe was one of them. I'm Afraid of Time and I So Think of You were like the really heavy ones. Matters was also a really heavy one too.
Yeah.
Those were the ones where I actually had to sit down, like have like a drink, and then talk to the artist and be like, this is like what the song is about. Like this is what happened. This is like what like I really do feel, and this is like what I really want the song to like convey. And
Yeah.
those were like late night sessions too, where it's just like it's like 3 in the morning,
There's
and we're
something
just
about the late
like
night sessions.
exactly, yeah. And it was just like, oh, like we're gonna be here for a while, aren't we?
There's like such a clear vibe change between the beat ideas I have that I made in the middle of the day, and like the ones that I made at night, and like the night ones are like in like almost every single time like chiller and calmer and sadder than like the during the day ones.
Exactly, yeah. So it was like I felt like it was necessary for me at the same time. I felt like it was necessary for me to like spend those late nights like making these songs,
Yeah.
But like I couldn't have done it with the singers that I worked with, especially Cynthia, Elias, and Mira. Those singers are like I guess like part of like my close circle now, where it's just like if I'm feeling something and then like I want to talk about something heavy, then and I want to make a song about it or something, then I'll just talk it with them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's huge. And I even like told you after hearing the album, I was like, I looked at the credits and saw more or less a tight circle of things. And I always love seeing that in an album versus like 15 writers on a song,
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, these people like went through the whole process together. Like they have the context of the full album. They're not like, and I'm not bashing this at all, but it's not like, oh, let me bring in a producer for this song, let me get that producer for that song, and things. It's like really making a cohesive project super important also when you're like telling a story through the project or the album and everything. And yeah, definitely like talented people that you worked with, and great to just have those connections of like there's no searching or audition process from now. Like it's like from now on, when you need a vocalist, it's Cynthia or it's whoever it is that's like getting on the song.
Exactly, yeah. And I wanted to stay that way, really.
Hmm.
I don't get me wrong, I do want to work with other people, but I also want to like just like keep my close
Yeah,
circle of friends,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's. I mean, I always love seeing that. There's a whole, probably mostly from TikTok. I'm trying to think of how I got into it, but there's a whole um like circle or friend group of artists that I'm now fans of, like each one of them. But like every other, or like every couple release of theirs, like they're working with one of the other people in that like group. And I was like, that's so sick. It's like solo friend one and two, solo all three of us on a song. And
That's the way it should be, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like um yeah, that's awesome. Um, I totally had a question that I just blanked on and forgot.
No, that's
But
okay. That's okay.
yeah, yeah, and I'm fine with oh, yeah, one last thing I want to get into is just like the listing of StaminaSounds being on like all the songs also, or like how like just what's the involvement there, the strategy, just like what essentially, for those who don't know, what is StaminaSounds?
Okay, StaminaSounds is in the works. But it's like a label company. So, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a label. I wonder how much I should say about this.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
share anything that's not.
So
Stay
that,
tuned for
yeah,
StaminaSounds.
exactly. No, but that close, like this, my close circle of friends that are artists, um, we want to start a label company, and we want to kind of like make a space where any artist, like old or new, can come in and like make like their dream song or like their dream album or their
That's
dream
awesome.
EP. And it's gonna take a while for us to kind of like we have it running right now, and we have like a couple artists that we want to work with. One of them is from Canada, and I already worked with her, so if you can figure out who, then good luck.
Then
Um,
you know an upcoming StaminaSounds project.
exactly, yeah. So like Stamina Sounds, it's basically our label company. And
Hmm.
I like on my Spotify page, there's like three different like albums based off of like short films or movies or like an art exhibition.
Yeah,
And like I want those to like exist, but I probably don't want it to exist like on my like Spotify page because I think it might be a bit too confusing of like how people see me as a producer. You know,
Yeah,
and I
maybe
want to can
you want to be all over the place, but that might be like too all over the
yeah, it
place.
might be too all over the place. Like, oh, there's like this dude that makes like films tracks and cool songs. Like, huh? You know, so I'm trying to like separate like that identity, you know. So like that's how Stamina Sounds came into fruition. Stamina Sounds is actually uh my dad's idea. My dad was a musician. That's a whole different story that we can get
Yeah,
into. Not a big fan
it's
of
a
my
whole
dad.
other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
That's
Yeah.
that's for your therapist.
Yeah,
Call
that's for my
back.
therapist. Yeah, talk about my daddy issues. Um, but yeah, no, so that's how, you know, I want to continue doing different music tracks. And you know, I feel like Stamina Sounds had to exist like one way or another, you know? Like it was probably I was gonna make a like a ghost producer name where like I didn't have
Hmm.
like my name on it, just like a random like ghost production profile or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But my manager told me to just make Stamina Sounds, and I was just like, okay, cool. It's our label company now. We're gonna make a website for it. We're working on a movie right now. I can't say
Awesome.
um, what it is, but we're making an
Yeah,
album movie
that's all right.
track.
I,
Yeah.
I was I was literally about to say because like way back starting to talk about Sincerely when you were talking about like picturing it as a movie or something like
Oh
that. Like
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've listened through like about a month ago or so, listened through Snoop Dogg's new album, Is It a Crime? And he has like an album movie out with it too, where it's like an hour or so. And it's like a movie with songs from the album like spliced in it or like in different settings. And I want to watch like just like find the time to sit down and watch that.
Yeah, no, I want to do something like that. But I'm not sure if Sincerely is going to be the album that I do it
To
with.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Because it's just like I am also tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. Look, man, I love these songs, I really do, but I want to make better stuff.
Mhm.
At one point, I felt like I was on top of the world. I'm like, yes, people love this album. Like, this is gonna be my magnum opus. I've worked so hard for it, you know? And then now I'm just like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to
but
do new
like
stuff.
I always knew this to some degree, even with my own music. But Logic was kind of the artist that took it to like the nth degree, and I'm like, just truly, that's insane. Of by the time an artist like comes out with new music, or you're hearing something for the first time, they're already on the next thing, or like something in the future that's gonna happen. And so I know Logic's kind of there from just like knowing what he wants to make, but then also just has so much unreleased stuff that he's doing. I don't know like how tapped into that fan base you are, but he just like separate from all his music, not even tied to an album. He just like actually put out his first movie because he wanted to like direct and make a movie.
Yeah.
So it's like a full like standalone movie that's available digitally. But before he announced that it was going to be available digitally, I and a couple other fans pre-ordered or pre-got whatever he um before he could get like a distribution deal just was going to put it on Blu-ray and like that was going to be how
Oh.
you got it. And if you pre-ordered the Blu-ray, you got 5 unreleased albums of his. And
Oh,
like
what?
that was the moment that I'm just like, oh, this man has so much music that's not out there, or like he just has like what he's not putting out or what he's shelving is like an entire artist discography on its own. And so that was I'm not even close to that point. I'm like struggling to get enough tracks for an album, but it's
No,
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
but
I think I am kind of at that point. Not like 5 albums worth. I like
yeah.
maybe like an EP.
No, yeah.
Um,
And I was telling you a bit about it. Like I have songs coming down the pipeline. I have things I'm basically ready to put out, but that's like a whole other level of it.
well, when are we gonna hear from your next project? You know, when's like the next
Hopefully, you're
drop
putting me on
date?
the spot, but hopefully very soon. Hopefully,
Oh
I told
shit.
you a bit about the behind the scenes, but just I mean, just because of the distributor that I use, probably just around a month or so, and that's what
I'm
I'm
marking my
hoping for.
calendar. I'm marking my
That's
calendar
what
right
I'm
now.
hoping for. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
hold
make an
on.
official announcement when it's out. Um, but yeah, I feel like you've revealed enough. I'll drop some hints in here for my stuff
Okay.
too. But it's something that I've like put out a couple just like TikTok or Instagram videos like teasing or as I was working on it. And so I'm not too shy about it because there's like definitely hints or videos showing what the next song is, but it has changed since those videos were made. So it's not going to sound
Hmm.
like those videos. And I mean, that makes sense because even those videos like sound like two different things. So, it'll be cool to like see the evolution, and maybe I'll put out like a longer video explaining it when it actually comes out. But I was really struggling with, and this is always a question I have when I hear artists or producers talk about it, the like version of the song that I wanted to come out or put out. Um, so literally on Logic, I have like three, not just three project alternatives to it, but three like completely different edits or versions of the song where the like the choruses are just three completely different
Dude,
things.
oh my
And
God.
so rather than, because I don't want to say it doesn't make sense because this is something I thought about doing or would do, but rather than put out like version one, version two, version three all on one project, I think I'm just gonna put out the latest one that I like the best, and then these short social media videos will kind of be like a sneak peek of like what the other versions sounded like.
Okay, you're gonna have us on a little Easter egg hunt. Okay, okay, I see. Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
was me too, low key. That was me for like the track "Why Does It Matter at All." That's why I
Mm.
have like two of them. I have one where it's like, actually both of them are recorded on my phone. But I have one that's like more gospel, and then I have one that's more like stripped almost, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was gonna be a third one, um, but I ended up fitting it in with the Matters track, you know?
Mm.
Like towards the end, they repeat the same thing where it's like, why does it matter at all? I
Yeah.
still have the third version, but I don't think it's going to be released anytime soon. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that, yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. But because I'm always interested, I'll hear artists being like, "Oh yeah, the chorus to this song was completely different, and we changed it." I was like, I wish I could hear what that other version sounds like, or the because I keep bringing them up. 21 Pilots just put out before this like album rollout for the 10th anniversary, I want to say, or something like that, or an anniversary of it, put out like a demo version of one of their songs that sounds kind of like pretty different and a lot more electronic or like produced than the final thing. And that was super cool to me because there's overall I like the what actually came out more, but the demo has like one like beat switch that's not in the final one, and I was like, this is so sick.
Yeah, no. I did have a
Or
friend
even,
tell me. Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
no, you go ahead. But I was gonna say the other example I know is Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, where it like
Oh,
gets silent
yeah.
at the end and has the crazy like beat drop, like bass heavy version at the end.
Yeah.
That was like kind of the first version of it, or that was when that was like Billie producing it on her own before bringing Phineas in to produce it, and like what her version would sound like. And that's something where I'm like, I would listen to that like a full version of that song because that beat switch up gets me every time, and that bass is so sick.
Yeah, no. I feel like that's probably like where like a deluxe version would probably come out, you know?
Yeah,
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 or like a 10th anniversary edition.
yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I wish I don't know. Um I wish it was just like easier for us to like put it out there and just like have the option I'll keep it
That's
as an
how I
option for
feel.
people to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like it gets confusing a little bit.
Because I know, like, I mean, obviously you're not dealing with it as a bigger artist, but like the big artists, or like when it really clicked for me, it was like the Drake Kendrick beef, and like how quickly they could get songs onto like
Yeah.
Spotify and things. I was like, that's not fair. If they can do that, and then I have to wait a month to like get a song on Spotify.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a mess really. It's unfair. But
Or they put it like out on YouTube, and then 2 days later it's on Spotify. I was like, come on.
exactly. It's like, come on, bro. No, you know what? We're gonna get there one day. Okay?
Yeah,
We're gonna get
exactly.
there
We're
one
gonna get
day.
there, or we're gonna go to Spotify and we're gonna say, I have a song ready, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, it's out tomorrow.
It's out tomorrow. You can't say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no. No, 2026, new year, new songs, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. New year, new
Yeah.
music. Um, yeah, well, those are all the sincerely questions I had for you, and I know we wanted to make this like a deep dive on the album, which I think we definitely did. So, I mean, because I could talk all day with you.
Oh yeah.
You're more than welcome to like come back on the podcast later if you have more stuff, or like to deep dive on other stuff of yours. But where can people find you, listen to your music and all that stuff?
You can look me up on Spotify, YouTube, wherever really. Deezer, if people still use that.
Yeah.
Um, you can look me up, Exez, EXEZ, or StaminaSounds if you want to get a jump head start on that. Or you can look me up on Instagram, Exez_live, EXEZ_LIVE. And I don't post that often, but with my manager, she's gonna force me to.
But
So
you force you to,
yeah,
no, I get it. Recently that's been a big push for me to actually like get into the content game, and I was like, I post when there's new music out. That's good enough. And then basically not everyone I know, but like obviously all the people, all the big artists that you see online, they're like constantly making content, or even people on TikTok who are like doing something daily, but then actually like put out music a lot. So yeah,
yeah.
I was just starting to ramble, so I stopped myself there.
No, you're
But
good. You're good.
essentially, like the way I'll do it, because he started popping on my For You page a bunch. If like Charlie Puth has the time to sit down and make like well thought out, high quality TikTok videos, and still put out like top of the industry music, I have the time to make a silly video about, the demo I'm working on, or like samples in a song that I like.
Honestly, I think my favorite video that you made was like the new like mentions in like DistroKid or something.
Oh my God, yeah. That
Yeah.
that that was like my easiest, quickest one, where that one was the idea. For those who don't know, the distributor I use, DistroKid, which there should be a link down there to get a discount on if you want to start using it to put your music out. Always plug. But DistroKid put out like a bunch more credits that you can do that I love, because I'm a huge like music credit nerd. Every song I hear, I go to the credits and I like want to see who's working on it. For this next song I put out, I want for music in the future now, not just the next one, but all the future music. I want to have like as detailed credits as I can get. And I'm looking through, and one of the like contributor roles, or like a role that you can put in there, is drug dealer, and that's the kind of thing where it's just handed to you on a silver platter, and it's like, I have my phone right here. I can take, genuinely, I think that took maybe 15 to 30 seconds to film. It was just get a
Oh,
shot of
shit.
my face, flip the camera, get a shot of this computer screen, and then like you're set. That was like the goofiest non music related thing that I've ever
No, that
done.
was funny as hell though. I saw that and I was just like crying in my bed a little bit because I was like, no way they added that.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
that was my reaction. That was everyone's reaction. Where it was just like, I mean, I think it's literally still the caption of it. I was like, I mean, credit where credit's due, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, hey, Wiz Khalifa's got to start using that credit line in his
I might start
things,
using it low key.
dude. Like, No, I was listening to an interview with him. He was like, "Yeah, I wake up, smoke, I'll make some music, keep smoking during that, and then like end the day with dinner and a smoke, and then go to bed." And I was like, "Okay, who like he?" And I know he has his own company and everything, but like that's who that's made for.
Yeah, that's who that's made for. Honestly, he probably had a say in that. He's like, I need to start crediting everyone for my songs. My drug dealer came on set, and he was like, "Yo, this shit fire, okay."
And that gets you credit in the song now. Yeah.
Exactly. There
No,
you
no
go.
writing or publishing, but you'll get credited as the drug dealer.
Oh my God. No. Credits where credits
Awesome.
due, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, and yeah, I can't wait to hear what's next from you.
Oh yeah. Maybe wait like. Oh wait, hold on. I just forgot. Tomorrow. Oh shit, it is
Tomorrow there's
tomorrow.
something coming out.
Maybe. Yeah. It's a bit
Oh
different.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is
Uh
that's by the time this comes out, if it is tomorrow, that will
yeah.
already be out. So,
Oh,
oh,
okay. Look up look up Outer Wilds. This is how you know I work on too many songs. Look up Outer Wilds Exez EXEZ. And I am working with another artist who I've been friends with a long time. Her name is Michelle Teh. She graduated from Oxy already.
hmm,
So, she's pretty cool and she makes good uh, indie pop songs. So, yeah, look out for it.
cool. Awesome. Yeah. Go check out Outer Wilds. Go follow, and why not? Go follow Exez, go follow me as well while you're at
Yeah,
it.
there you
If you're
go.
already looking up people on Spotify. And yeah, thanks for listening.